Hello, welcome back to another Illustrator video. So what I want to do is look at like some different ways to change the stroke here. And we're going to look at the brushes basically, because I've noticed a few interesting things about brushes. So if we look at this appearance tab here, this is what you get like when you just got, so you can see there's my gradient and that's the width. It's just like a stroke, right? There's no fill on this. So you can just ignore that. Now there's different ways that we could add something. Um, but one thing, like, what I did originally, I was like, oh yeah, I really want to get the marker or something. And I realized it just turns it black, right? And that's not what I want. So I was thinking like, and then I sort of went through some various processes. Now I'll explain how to fix that in a moment. But I wanted to just point out that was what sort of got me thinking about how to actually do stuff. So this is the path I got. Simple gradient on it, right? So what can we do from this point, looking at the appearance? Well, we can go into the effect gallery here. It's also in the top menu, but here's a good place to do it. And you can actually see why that happened. Because if you look at certain brush strokes, it actually does turn it black. Most of them, though, are going to be okay though. So that's basically an important thing to realize. You do need to do something different if you've got one that turns it black, basically. You see watercolor, that wouldn't work very well. Um, but most of these seem to work really well, right? So then you can do all that. And we press OK on it, you can see what you get. You can see, so basically, within this top category of the stroke, the glass is like a little sub thing, right? Um, but what if I actually did want to do it with the marker pen, but I still wanted it this color because it's turning it black, right? Because you'll notice that what actually happens when I do the marker pen, and I also try some other things, right? So I change it to the marker pen. If you look at the appearance, it's like, oh yeah, that looks, yeah. I mean, you would think, that doesn't make sense why it's not working. So what do you have to do in that situation? Well, in this situation, what we're going to have to do is actually do another stroke on the path, right? That's the only way that you can actually do that. Okay, and then we'll have to change the opacity so it can basically see through there. So you look at the bottom here, you've got add new stroke, add new fill, and then there's the effect. So we do want another stroke, right? So we look at this one, right? What we can do is we just basically select this stroke here, and then we'll choose. We'll stick with the marker pen, right? And you'll notice now, if we look at the appearance, there it is. And now you can see you can go in here. It does kind of like, it depends how you want to blend it, I guess. Interesting, right? I guess that's why it doesn't really work like that. But for instance, we could do something like that, right? But yeah, so that's basically it. Really, just add a new layer if you've got one that basically turns it black, and then you just have to mess around with the opacity setting here. All right, I'll come back to the start again. So basically, if we take a look at like what happens, for instance, if we put on this borders one that I got. So we'll try that. And see, it's changed all the colors, right? Um, So you would imagine like you don't really want to change all the colors. You've chosen your colors already, so why would I want to change it to these random colors, right? You don't. So again, this is probably more a serious issue, right? So we take a look at it, right? You can see there it is. It's basically still says the right stroke, but it's wrong. So again, that sort of tells you if it's done it wrong, it means it tells you have to have a new layer, right? So all we have to do is get rid of it, and then we'll put that one on a new stroke layer as well, right? So there's a new stroke layer. We'll select the stroke layer, go to our border, and we'll say we want this thing, right? Okay, so now that's on that one. And now look what happens when we do the opacity. Now it brings it in much more nicely. So for instance, like there you can see we use lighten this time. Just adds a slightly different effect to the stroke, but not completely like overdoing it. So that's all I really wanted to talk about. So thanks for watching.